I want to begin by talking with you about how I think as a therapist when I'm working with someone, especially when they first come into my counseling office. And as I do, I want to talk with you about the mindset that I've learned to maintain, and I want to see if we can turn it into a way that we can also think towards a narcissist when they come at us with all of their difficulties and strains. Now, when a person comes into my counseling office, I'm in a bit of a triage mode. I know they're not there because everything is going well, and so I want to see if I can assess this in a very clear kind of way. And so I have all sorts of questions in my mind, just some simple questions. Who are you? What is your current circumstance? What are the historical roots to whatever it is that's bringing you here? What are your immediate emotional needs and emotions? And how does that also tap into some of your deeper history? Where is it that you're wanting to go? And as I'm asking those types of questions, I'm also listening for trends and patterns and things that I can learn about that person that are going to help me as we go down the path towards healing and recovery. Now, this is important. In my mind, I begin with one very fundamental thought, and I believe this all the way down to the core of my being, and that is, I know we can handle this. Now, the answers may not seem clear right now, but we're going to figure this out. We're going to get there. Pause. How can I say or think, I know we can handle this? And it comes down to one core ingredient that first I have to learn to begin with, and that is I trust myself. Self-trust is my strength, hopefully, that I bring to the equation that's going to be a part of the healing. And I'm going to foreshadow self-trust is your superpower that you can use when you deal with a narcissist. We're going to get there in just a minute. Now, a long time ago, I've concluded multiple things. And the first is problems happen. Sometimes they are large, sometimes they're small, sometimes they're in between, but they happen and they can persist. I've also concluded that some people are experts in perpetuating problems. There's no shortage of people out there who want to come at you with all sorts of strain and difficulty. There they are. But I've also concluded that at some level, there are adjustments that we can make. Now, notice I didn't say perfect solutions, and sometimes people want perfect solutions, but there are at least adjustments that we can make, and we can get down the path towards a more whole life, not a perfect life, but a more whole life if we put ourselves or dedicate ourselves to the task. I've also come to the conclusion that humans are resilient. We can bounce back. And that's why I do the work that I do, and that's why I'm talking with you in the way that I do. I want you to know, as a therapist and as someone who's speaking to you here, I believe in the change process. I believe you can change, but you have to want to believe that too. And then I want you to have that same sense that says you trust yourself, just as I can believe I trust in myself. As you learn how to trust yourself, you'll conclude you're not ideal, you're not perfect, but you're adequate. I'm adequate. And that's going to become the beginning point of the way that we do life. Now, this is a style of thinking that narcissists are threatened by. They don't like that. They don't want you to trust yourself. In fact, their beginning attitudes towards you are something like, you're just a screw up waiting to happen, and you're going to mess up my life if I don't tell you what to do. You're a nuisance too. So it's my job to fit you into a better mold, my mold. And so they come at you with this attitude of superiority. They're thinking there's no need for me to encourage you because, well, you're clearly not enlightened. And you can summarize a narcissist's attitude toward you by saying, you're just not someone who can be trusted. Let's think that through. How many times have you received that message? And then also, how many times have you felt the need to defend yourself and justify it? Oh, I really am a good person. Well, you know what? Maybe instead of defending and justifying yourself to the narcissist, you want to just kind of pull back and think, narcissists are predisposed to think all sorts of condescending thoughts toward you. I don't have to change their mind. What I need to do is change my mind about me. And so I'm hoping that when the narcissist comes at you with all of this kind of stuff, you can draw the conclusion that says, but I trust myself. I'm adequate. I'm able to manage my life quite nicely. Thank you very much. And if you don't believe in me, well, it means you don't believe in me. I'm not going to melt. I'm not going to fall apart and collapse. I trust myself. Now, if you can learn to think that way, that becomes your superpower. Narcissists don't know what to do with that. Now, they'll try to double down and continue in their controlling agenda over you. But what if you decided, in fact, self-trust is something that I can cling to and build upon? Now, before we go any further, let's just ask, how can we know that it's reasonable for you to trust yourself? Well, there, to me, are certain core tenets that I build my life upon, and I hope that you can build your life upon. And the first is, let's just start with the understanding you have inherent worth and dignity. That's not something the narcissist wants you to know, but it's theirs. It's yours. It's not something you have to earn. It's not something you have to prove. You simply have worth and dignity. In addition, you also have basic competence. That's not something a narcissist wants you to know. They want you to think that you're incompetent and they're the competent person that's going to pull you out of your sorry life. But the fact is, you have competence. You need to learn how to live into that. And then I also believe that even when you fail, or perhaps we can say especially when you fail, you're capable of learning and recovering and moving forward. I believe that about you. I believe that about myself. I believe that about humanity, although it does require you to buy into that. And so let's see if we can build on that notion that says, when the narcissists express a lack of trust in me, the bottom line is I trust myself. For example, when the narcissist offers you criticism and condescension, I trust myself. Those kind of characteristics are more of a reflection about the narcissist than they are about me. When a narcissist offers nothing but contempt and disdain, I trust myself. Those kind of characteristics are indications of a very pained and broken person that's coming up from the inside of that narcissist. When a narcissist argues and insists that I'm supposed to conform, I trust myself. I feel no need to tangle with someone who's predisposed towards an impetuous anger. When a narcissist tries to redirect my priorities, I trust myself. I'll do as I choose, knowing that I don't require the narcissist's blessing. When a narcissist wants to exact revenge against me and they want to act as a bully, I trust myself. I know the value of boundaries and stipulations and consequences, and I'll live into that because I know that's a better way to go. The bully doesn't have to have ultimate say over me. When a narcissist runs a smear campaign against me, I trust myself. I believe that truth has a way of rising to the surface, and if others ultimately want to know the truth about me, they'll be able to figure it out, and if they don't, I'll be able to figure it out. When a narcissist becomes evasive or secretive or disengaged, I trust myself. I'll figure out how I can live life separately. You see, being me is not risky. My decency speaks for itself. Being me makes good sense. I'm not very good trying to be someone that I'm not, contrary to what the narcissist prefers for me. Being me can be soothing. It's definitely preferred for me trying to live according to a narcissist's chaotic way of thinking. Being me is honest. I don't have to live games of pretense and make-believe. Being me can be inspiring. I hope that other individuals who see me acting according to my own self-trust will be inspired to do the same in their lives. Being me can be soothing. It can be calming. I don't have to be preoccupied with the narcissist ever changing agenda for me. Being me gives myself hope. This can be a sometimes difficult life, and there are difficult people in this world with me, but I can represent goodness. That's what I do. I trust myself. If you can think that way, that becomes your superpower. I do hope that you gain inspiration from videos such as this, and I hope you know I believe these things down to the core of my being, and I hope that this is something that you can ponder and you can learn to claim as your own. If you've not already done so, I would invite you to hit the subscribe button. We'll keep more videos coming toward you. Just know that we have other resources that we've made available below the video. I know that sometimes as you listen to videos such as this, it prompts you to think, I could use some help from a professional counselor who can work this kind of stuff through with me. We have a link below with a trusted group that we have vetted that can provide online counseling, and I've given referrals all the way through my career, and I'm making referrals to you now. Online counseling is a very popular way to go. In addition, we have links to my books, my online video workshops, and even coffee mugs. Do you trust yourself? If that's something that the narcissist is threatened by, so be it. Live inside that trust in yourself, and then I'm hoping that you can enjoy the calmness and the firmness that goes with it. And in doing so, you become the presence of steadiness and goodness and peace to those who have the good fortune of being in your presence. Trust yourself.